Caleb Smith at 125 pounds here.
Caleb Smith ranked number 3 in the country, though he did just lose to number 8, Jory Volk, for the second time this year. His only 2 losses of the year, the first one came at CKLV, where he actually outplaced Volk. The second one came about an hour ago. He's facing Trever Anderson of Northern Iowa.
And on the legs right away. Anderson, you know, comes in 6-6, but does have a big win over Jacob Camacho at the collegiate duels, and now he has the leg in the air.
Yeah, don't be fooled by Anderson's 500 record, because those losses have come to highly ranked guys. Troy Spratley, Drake Ayala, twice. Jory Volk. So he's very capable. As you see, he has opportunity here against Caleb Smith. Smith did a little funky scrambling.
Smith trying to sit the corner there as Anderson had the leg in the air, and now nice job by Smith to force a stalemate here. Scoreless here, 2:08 left in the first period. We are underway.
I talked to the Northern Iowa staff earlier today before weigh-ins, and they really like what they have in Anderson. They think he was undervalued coming out of high school because he dealt with a couple injuries, and he was dang good. But they like the direction he's headed.
Smith in on another shot here as UNI won the duel. They wrestled Wyoming 36-6. That was UNI's 800th win as a program.
Wow.
So shout out to UNI. And also, interestingly enough, Mark Manning got his start at UNI all those years ago.
Yes,
so
he did. We were talking about that. We were talking about the office yesterday.
So this is just a fun duel here between Nebraska and UNI, and we're happy to bring it to you here on BTN Plus. What were you talking about at the office with him yesterday?
It just got brought up. You know, they were just shooting the breeze, and somehow they stumbled upon the topic of how Manning applied here when he was at Northern Iowa.
And Manning spent 3 years there, going 23, 24, and 2 in duels before making his way out west here to Lincoln. Still no score here.
It was a talented team, too, that Manning took over. They had Brian Snyder, who was eventually a 4-time All-American, and Brad Vering, who was an Olympian, and Todd Beckerman, who's All-American. So they had a very good team.
Smith doing a nice job of scrambling here. Anderson was almost behind him.
He Houdini's a lot of stuff.
You know who else Houdini'd a lot of stuff was Liam Cronin last year. I mean,
yeah.
Wow. His leg defense was just superb. As you see him, actually, Liam's over here in the corner standing up.
Yeah, he really took Caleb under his wing. Caleb, a transfer from Appalachian State his first year in the Nebraska program, and Cronin himself was a transfer from Indiana to Nebraska. Liam doing quite well. He qualified for the Olympic trials a couple weeks ago. Him and fellow assistant James Green will go to France for the Henry DeGlane tournament. June 16th they leave.
Yeah, also Christian Lance and Eric Schultz, Olympic trials qualifiers as well. So Husker wrestling will be well represented there at the Olympic trials. Currently it's 0-0 here on the scoreboard. Anderson on top, racking up some riding time. Currently has 30 seconds, as you see it on your screen. Like we mentioned, you know, Anderson with a 6-6 record, but Those 6 losses are all tough competition. He has a win over Jacob Camacho from NC State.
Anderson has a really good ride going on right now, over a minute riding time. We're approaching.
2 different styles here. Smith is a little smaller, a little stockier. Anderson's taller, leaner, able to get that claw in there, which can be a really tough ride. Doesn't look like much, but when you're in that situation, you have that claw coming across your far neck there, your collarbone. That can be just tough and tight. Now Smith to his feet on the restart. And away for an escape, a big escape there. But Anderson racks up a minute 13 of riding time.
You know, both the Volk matches between these guys were relatively close. I think it was 1 takedown for Volk in each of them. Though Volk, against, in particular, Anderson, had a boatload of riding time.
So that'll be interesting to see what happens here in this 3rd period if Anderson will go down. Volk beat both Caleb Smith 5-1 and Anderson 4-0.
So Caleb's going to have to ride for a little bit to start the 3rd. Probably want to ride for at least 20-30 seconds before you think about cutting and going for a takedown. The margins versus Wyoming for each team were a little greater. We're going to see some tighter matches here, I'd assume.
This big lift for Smith as they go out of bounds. Minute 49 left. Yeah, you're right. You know, Nebraska may be favored in the majority of these matches, but like you said, the margin for error is a lot thinner than it was when they were wrestling Wyoming, and they won 9 of 10 bouts.
Both teams were at Cliff Keen. Nebraska finished 2nd by 5 points. They had won the previous 4 tournaments. Northern Iowa was 12th, but they were missing some guys, in particular Tyrell Gordon, who is now a top 20 heavyweight, and he certainly would have made a difference. With him, they certainly would have been top 10.
And now Anderson here turning in, almost had a leg locked up there, trying for an escape, and he gets it. However, Smith did his job. He rode him long enough. Now he's in on a shot here. So he raced riding time. Now he's around the waist there.
Able to get that arm out and not bury. That's key. If he can settle back down, maybe get some head pressure.
Anderson locked in
there
between
it is.
The legs there.
Now he's in better position. Turns out of it, though.
And Anderson still has that leg locked. Now the grip is broken, but a nice job by Anderson keeping his hips square as they move out of bounds.
Good job, both guys, in that sequence.
59 seconds left here. Riding time not a factor, so we're looking for a takedown from one of these two. Both guys have had a couple opportunities here at a takedown. Smith here in the 3rd. Anderson had a good shot in the 1st. As there's Smith in on a leg, now in a waterfall position.
Anderson falls to the side, head to feet.
Really has a nice hold on that ankle as Anderson's length coming into play here.
In this new age of wrestling, and Nebraska fans were a little incensed about the foot to the head. But it's a new age of wrestling. You know, getting to the legs is one part. You got to hide your feet because kids are so adept at attacking ankles and tying you up and preventing you from finishing.
Yeah, as their time runs out. Reset the riding time to 0. So now it's 1-1. Sudden victory here. First point wins. You're right, we have seen that grow a lot more as And if you get in, you better score. You better score quick, otherwise you're in danger of them tying up your ankles. There's another shot here by Smith, and there he collects the 3 in overtime. Caleb Smith, your winner, 4-1 in overtime.
Much cleaner finish, good penetration on that shot, got in deep, and if you notice, there was no opportunity that time for Anderson to find feet, to tangle him up, and it was a quick finish for Caleb Smith. That was the difference.
Caleb Smith with the victory, goes 1-1 on the day, and here it is, and you said it, big quick finish, sits him to his butt, collects the 3.